So today I am discussing the disgusting behavior of Tabitha Brown. Black women are her fan base. A lot of black women heavily support this traitor, this black capitalist who only wants your money, and she doesn't care about any of the problems in society that you go through because she's rich. And to her, all you have to do is get a job at McDonald's and all your problems will be solved. So I want to let you know what this um dense woman, I'm trying to be careful with my words. I don't want to get my don't want to get my video flagged. This dense woman. Let me tell you, let me tell you what she said, okay? And this lady lives a luxurious lifestyle, by the way. I'm going to show you the type of lifestyle that she lives. It doesn't matter what kind of job you get because jobs are not readily available these days, especially not good paying jobs. And we all know the standards, the expectations they want for these entry level jobs are just, unrealistic.
Hello there, real quick.
Uh, this guy right here, he's another black capitalist. He's another one who he doesn't care about being black. He thinks that money will just erase his blackness, and he thrives on destruction. He thrives on tearing down the self-esteem, beating down the consciousness, beating down the soul and the will of black people. So I just want you guys to know that's the kind of person that this black person right here is. So I really don't even want to give him the view, but I've already given it to him. So let's continue to play the video.
that this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay. Um, you kind of been in this place for a long time. Okay. Now listen, you got good ideas, baby. You got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay. Um, your follow through not as good. The ideas though are great.
Do you see how condescending she is talking to black women like we're fucking retarded? Um, Black women, you put money in her pocket and this is how she repays you, talking to you like you're retarded, talking to you like it's your fault that you can't get a job, even though we know that 300,000 black women have just intentionally been fired. We know this. Okay, stay with me, y'all. This is going to be a very long live stream and I'm going to show you some really great videos, so stay with me.
Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and that doesn't mean it's not for you.
People know entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. Some people want a good fucking job. Where has Tabitha Brown been when people have been complaining about the minimum wage has not been increased in 16 years? Where has Tabitha Brown been when people have been complaining about toxic work environments? Is she fucking that dense? Is she that stupid, that delusional? Is she that far gone? We got to be careful who we support with our dollars, y'all. And if I was y'all, I would not support her with your dollars.
But right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about.
Does she not think people have been aware of the situation these last few months, Tabitha? We know you don't have to worry about money. We know that. But you are too dense for you to be speaking from a high horse. Way too dense.
Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess.
A lot of these people who make comments, they don't want to leave a negative comment because they don't want to have a verbal lashing. They don't want to feel shamed. They don't want to feel kicked out of the temporarily embarrassed millionaires club. Okay. So they leave these positive comments, but they know deep down in their soul, they don't feel this way. They don't feel like this is gentle advice and they don't feel like this is positive advice. They know these workplaces are toxic. They know these workplaces have unrealistic expectations for Black women. They know that.
And it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur.
I know Tabitha Brown has been enjoying um playing the mammy role and playing the old country bumpkin and whatever else pick me that she has been playing for years, and she has been rewarded quite handsomely for doing so. But people have not been sitting on their hands, Tabitha. People actually apply to hundreds of jobs, dozens to hundreds of jobs. People are trying to get a job. Are you really this fucking stupid? Seriously. Stop giving her y'all dollars. Stop supporting this bitch.
But you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to. Okay, um, that it ain't.
She's shaming you for being in debt, you guys. This is where we are. She is shaming you for being in debt when America said go to college and you'll get a great job, professional career. You'll be able to afford a home at 24 and you'll be able to have a family, live comfortably. You won't be struggling. What? You won't be stressing. Just take this loan out. That's what they told kids their whole lives. And then when kids turned 18, they signed over onto these loans. Their parents encouraged them to do so. Tabitha Brown's generation.
Ain't working right now. Okay,
This is so disgusting and condescending.
it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work. But right,
This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Any Black person that continues to support her, you deserve to get shit on. You deserve it.
now you need to go to work. You gonna need to get a job. Okay.
Tabitha, where are the people going to work? Post the jobs, Tabitha. List the jobs. You don't want to do the real work. You just want to preach. You want to be a preacher. You want to be a pulpit pimp. You want to sell shovels. You don't want to really help people. Post the jobs, Tabitha. Get you help people. If you really want to help people, help people. Figure out what kind of jobs people need and don't hire an assistant to do it, bitch. You do it.
And then keep working towards it. But at least you'll have a job while you are
This is disgusting. This is sick. This
pursuing your
behavior
thing.
is sick and
But right
disgusting.
now, you need to get a job, baby. All right?
You need to get a job, baby. Do you think people pe- what it's disgusting.
That's it. I love you.
I love you. I love you. Do you feel loved, guys? Did that message make you feel loved? Was that the tough love? I'm sorry. Was that the tough love? Or maybe that's the tough love.
They're going about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow have
Stop supporting this bitch.
a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's.
Don't mess up nobody else's day the way she just messed up a whole bunch of Black women's day who already feel really bad about themselves. Some of them are sticking through toxic workplaces. Some of them are desperate to not get fired, but she's going to blame you and say, "Oh, you got fired. You were in a toxic workplace where they were abusing you and you decided to quit and start your own fucking business. Get a job."
Yeah, don't be mad.
I don't listen to this guy at all. Next. Um let's listen to this woman.
Real quick, why are y'all acting like Tab said to sell crack? You're acting like Auntie Tabitha.
Why do these Black women get on the internet and coon and geek and shuck and jive and grin like a massa said do? Why do y'all do that? It's only a few black women that tell the truth, and guess what? They don't live in the United States anymore because they they are aware. I'm gonna watch this video later. They are aware of the truth, and they are aware that in the United States, yeah, you really can't speak the truth and show your face because you might not get a good job. They might see you on the internet talking shit about jobs, and they might want to not give you one of them good old jobs. Okay, let's listen to some sense from a black woman who is actually trying to help black women, does help black women, and who child, she works exhaustively to help black women. Her name is Stephanie Perry. She does not live in the United States anymore. And she helps black women escape toxic workplaces. Okay, so let me see if she has any shorts. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to her. I'm not subscribed on this channel. I have another channel that I'm subscribed to her on, but hey, I'll subscribe. I like to keep my feed um, separated, but
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise.
for the video's sake, let's subscribe. Um her name is Stephanie Perry, and she'll tell you more about herself. I'm not gonna play her whole video because I don't really know how that works.
Black women friends, can we have a conversation today about locking in on your dreams? Can we talk about what that looks like, what that feels like? And can we talk about, is that the opposite of having a traditional 9 to 5? Can we have a conversation, Black women to Black women, about what we're moving towards? There's a movement, there's a zeitgeist out happening among Black women, particularly Black American women, African American women.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip to this part of the video. I think it might be a more informative part.
So then why am I opposing or juxtaposing the great lock-in versus the traditional job? I saw a snippet of a video from Tabitha Brown just yesterday where she was saying it's time to get a real job. It's time to get a traditional job. And some Black women on the internet were not pleased with that statement. As you may or may not know, I'm totally opposed to traditional jobs for Black women because
look at how pleasant this woman is as opposed to how stiff and how robotic Tabitha and a lot of these other Black American women are, because they know that they're walking on eggshells in America. They're walking on a short, tight fucking leash. But this woman doesn't live in America, so she can breathe easier and tell the truth.
Right? It's not, I have no beef with the actual de facto people. The actual traditional job is not my problem. My problem is the way jobs treat Black women. Right? I have no beef with jobs. I love a steady paycheck. I miss having a time when no matter what I did, no matter how much effort I did or didn't put into work, I got a steady amount of money into my bank account over and over and over again. That's the thing that I miss about having traditional jobs. But I don't have Black women friends who have a good experience working traditional jobs.
How many of you Black women can relate? Like, let's just be fucking for real, y'all. I'm not telling people not to get a job, but I'm telling you to advocate for yourself in this moment in history. We can't just be shaming each other as if it's our fault as to why we don't have a job. Like, it okay.
Not being treated with respect, right? Not being able to focus on a whole life instead of just being a worker. I don't see Black women winning in traditional jobs. We're working hard. We're striving and struggling and straining, but we're not winning in the traditional job space. And that was before January 2025. Now we've got hundreds of thousands of Black women out of work on purpose. Traditional jobs have on purpose, goodbye, Black women. Traditional jobs have purposefully turned their back, have on purpose turned their back on Black women after winning, after being dragged to success by Black women. Tradition.
Black women, we have to go to work. We have to be nice to everybody. We have to deal with their microaggressions and their weird ass conversations and their little side comments about our hair. And, they want to talk ghetto to us. And we have to deal with all this shit. And we do. And guess what? We don't get fucking rewarded for it. We don't get rewarded for it. You know what we get? We get to walk on eggshells. We get to fear that we're not going to have a job because we offended somebody some way. We don't even fucking know how we offended them, but we did.
Traditional jobs have said peace out to Black women. So I personally don't understand Tabitha Brown's message unless her message was to white people, right? I don't understand that message of it's time to get a traditional job because baby, where the jobs at? Where do you see Black women getting work today? Right? We're talking September 2025. There are 300,000 new Black women out of work who were in the workforce in January, who are not in the workforce today. That's on purpose. That's intentional. That's what the United States of America has decided to do to Black women.
They're manufacturing a shortage. You know what? And the type of jobs America want Black women to have, Tabitha, whether she knows this or not, because she's a millionaire and she ain't got to get no job. Everybody can't be like Tabitha. I want her to go work some of those fucking jobs. Go work them, bitch.
The United States of America has decided that we want to use Black women's labor to get wins, success, results, right? From the very birth of the United States of America, from the very first day of the United States of America until today, the United States has used the labor of Black women, the brain power, the physical power of Black women without reciprocity, right? Without reciprocity, has demanded and required that we be not just twice as good, but 10 times, 20 times, 100 times as good without any reciprocity. 1 second. That's all intentional, right? We know that that people in the United States view Black women as the workhorse of this country, the workhorse of society. And once they feel like or felt like Black women were getting some sort of come up, right? Getting some sort of wins, getting some sort of successes, getting some sort of accolades, some sort of shine, time to knock us down a peg or 20. And so I'm not here to tell you that a traditional job is more valid than whatever your vision, your dream, your plan is. I'm also not here to tell you that it has to be a vision or dream or plan. It can just be a non-traditional way of making money. I think
I'm just gonna personally speak for myself. I think the disconnect when it comes to Black women not working traditional jobs, number one, we don't work together. Tabitha, she's telling Black women to get a job, but Tabitha, you supposed to be a business owner, bitch. Where the jobs at, bitch? Where the jobs at? Post some jobs, okay? You a business owner. Post a fucking job. You got friends. Are they hiring? So we don't work together. We just shame each other and wag our finger at each other and tell each other what not to do or what to do. But one thing that Black women are really good at is telling other Black women whatever they're doing is not good enough. If you are looking to be self-employed, lock in. I mean, listen, this right here, this take this phrase right here seriously. Lock in, because one thing about it, when you work for yourself, you're not going to have nobody saying, "Oh, get up, baby. Clock in. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You're not gonna have any of that. Whether you're doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, selling your art, braiding hair. It's a big market in my opinion right now for hairstylists. Um Also, with these prices, be reasonable. Like, let's be fucking for real. A lot of these hairstylists, they want to make like $100 an hour, $200 an hour. Bitch, you are doing really great if you're making $50 an hour and you staying booked and busy and you're consistent. I'm not saying you have to do that forever, but do that and pivot. Okay? And you can be consistent and you can win. Think about your skills, your talents. Are you willing to learn a new skill? I know a lot of people who they mount TVs on the wall for a living, okay? It's a lot of landscapers. I literally just saw a woman cutting grass. Literally, I saw her with my own two eyes. She was hired to cut the grass of this house. She was on a riding lawnmower, and she was a black woman too. So don't limit yourself. Don't think that something is a man job or a woman job. Don't think that way. If you have the health and the strength enough to do a skill, do it. I literally saw a woman cutting grass for a lawn care service, and I think it was her business because I saw a younger black male with her, and I assume it was her son. I don't know. I assume it was her son, but she was doing the actual grass cutting, and this was not a young woman. She looked like she could have been in her 50s. I mean, she was in really great shape, but she was paid to cut the grass. And guess what, y'all? She was hired by a white person. Now, all you pro black people, blackity black, you want to support black business. Well, guess what? Look at what Tabitha is telling you to get a fucking job when 300,000 black women have just been fired. But we have white people hiring black women entrepreneurs. I see it with my own two eyes, you guys. Lock in. Lock in. Are some of you guys good at hanging curtains? You know, are some what are you good at? Are you a good decorator, interior decorator? Do you have good interior decorating skills? Okay, lock in, you guys. Do you have good cleaning skills? Lock in. Seriously. Lock in.
Think I'm really good at non-traditionally making money. Like I said, I don't know if I told you this already. I'm in my new apartment in Bogota, Colombia, still moving in, still getting it furnished. And my rent is paid from non-traditional work, right? My rent is paid, food is put on my table, my travel bills, my travel expenses are covered through non-traditional.
And if you guys aren't aware, she is a house sitter. She teaches other black women how to house sit. I think that is a really, really great way to make money because there are a lot of homeless black women out there. And one thing that black women we are good at doing, we are good at not looking like what we going through. You know what I mean? We will still do our hair. We will still put on makeup. We will still put a nice outfit on. At least a lot of black women that I know and see. We're really good at not looking like what we're going through. Okay. And one thing about it, your looks will get you through the door, baby. Do not neglect your looks. If you don't neglect your looks. I'm telling you. Even if all you can do is the bare minimum, do the bare minimum. Go somewhere, wash your hair, go to a gym, wash your hair, get you some little minimal makeup. Okay. Even this hairstyle right here that she has, this is an acceptable hairstyle. I wear my hair like this very often.
Work. And I'm the better for it. I'm healthier for it. I'm happier for it. I'm more at peace. When I worked a traditional job, my last job, I was a hospital pharmacy technician. I made $22 an hour. And it was at times a very stressful job, right? Working in a hospital pharmacy, inpatient in the wintertime, stressful. It was also at times kind of demeaning. I've never had a job where I could fully access the benefits that I was promised in my work contract without a struggle. So
And that's one secret. That's one thing that Tabitha, get a job. doesn't tell Black women, because I've heard doctors say it and I've experienced it myself. They tell you that you have all these benefits until you want to use them. When you want to use them, all of a sudden, oh, no, 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 no. They don't even really give you a great explanation. You just can't fucking use them.
In my last job, when I worked at a hospital in Newark, Delaware, anytime I wanted to take vacation days, it was a battle. I even wrote an article for Exo Nicole about it. It was easier for me to quit my job and travel for a year on savings than it was for me to use the vacation days that I had earned. Right? I think that's
And I've seen non-Black people freely be able to use their vacation days. Like, they don't get asked any questions when they want to go on vacation.
disrespect. And that is like the lowest level of
And let me tell you guys another thing. You thinking that it's going to be a pot of gold at the rainbow from these toxic jobs? It's not. Once your health goes down, it's very difficult to get it back to a good place. You're not going to get any younger. It's not a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for these jobs, you know. And if they feel like they don't want you at the job for any type of reason, they might want to hire their cousin, or they might just want to cut down and you the first place that they're going to start. They're not going to care about you. They might offer you a little severance package. They might not. But it's not a pot of gold at the end of these jobs. And Black women, I'm not discouraging you from getting a job, but what I am telling you is don't ever think that these people have your best interests at heart, because they will feed you nothing but lies.
disrespect based on me and my homegirls' experiences. I had the easiest situation, right? I had the least disrespectful amount of disrespect.
Okay, that's it. I'm going to go on to the next person. I love her so much. I don't know her real name, but the name of her YouTube channel is Financial Diet. I'm also not subscribed to her on this account, you guys. But because
I think much like the conversation around like
I subscribe to a lot of them on different accounts. Okay, she made a video that I really loved, where she talked about how you really have to come from money to even make money. You kind of have to come from, and this woman, she makes about $200,000 a year. And whether you think that's a lot of money or not, do you make $200,000 a year? Hit the like button if you earn $200K a year. Hit the like button anyway. But leave a comment. I'll say that. Leave a comment. Leave a comment if you make $200K a year. Okay? Or is that kind of rare? She makes $200K a year. Let me see. I love her channel. You guys browse her channel. She's really aware of class consciousness. And I think when you start making good comfortable money, like $200K a year, like, she doesn't make $1 million a year. She makes $200K a year. And for a lot of us, that feels like $200 million. Like, could you imagine if you made $200,000 right now? And a lot of people try to tell her that that she makes too much money to speak on class consciousness. But she puts it into perspective. $200,000. You guys need to understand the difference between $200,000 and $1 billion. And a lot of these billionaires, they have way more than $1 billion. I saw a short from her. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here it is.
you drop out of college.
Couldn't afford it. You know, something I think we've become really desensitized to is how rare it's become to see a very successful, visible person in basically any field who comes from a genuinely working class background. Cola Scola is obviously incredibly talented and deserving and all of that, but also kind of miraculous in this way. And it's not just celebrities and it's not just the arts, right? Like, people don't tell you this, but if you come from a working class or poor background and you become successful, again, in basically any field, it's likely that you're going to become the only person like you in your immediate surroundings. For example, I don't have a college degree. I didn't do well in high school, but then I went to a local community college where I did do very well, and I got accepted to some pretty prestigious schools, but I couldn't afford to go to them. My parents could not afford to co-sign on these major loans, and there was absolutely no way I was going to be able to do it myself or pay out of pocket. So I just didn't go, and I am still now 36 years old without a degree. It was a very clear case of, you have the merit, you have the ability, but the money is standing in the way, or I guess the lack thereof. And it felt completely devastating at the time, but it was also somewhat to be expected, right? Like, when you come from a background without money, you're very used to that lack of money being a limitation for so many things that would otherwise be possible. Things that, by the way, we often tend to speak of as if they were totally merit-based. But anyway, like, through a combination of luck and hard work, but mostly luck, I now have like a pretty prestigious media career. And I live in New York City, and I'm upper middle class, which means that almost everyone I encounter has a college degree. And I do go out of my way to maintain close friendships with other people who come from working class backgrounds, in part because otherwise I would lose my sanity. But professionally speaking, it's like essentially unheard of for me to encounter someone who didn't go to a four-year school, often has postgraduate degrees, often from extremely prestigious and expensive colleges. I could list out a million other ways in which their entire upbringing and way in which they entered this professional world was different than mine, but we don't have time for that. The point is, we often like to delude ourselves that we live in a classless society, but in fact, if you look at America's social mobility, it's actually much lower than many other developed countries. And basically, no matter what you're successful in, if you are successful as a working class person, you're likely to be the only one of you. So many things that would have been impossible for you growing up are treated like just the norm that everyone experienced, including things like going to college.
Why did you?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. And oh, you guys, I am like PMSing right now, TMI, but I'm very emotional right now because Tabitha Brown, she said what she said as if it was just like, get a fucking job. You're just lazy. Nobody wants to work. And I'm just disgusted. I'm fucking disgusted. I love anti-HR, this channel right here, but I'm not gonna play her video because I I have it scheduled for later on in the live stream. So yeah, I'm going to wait on that one. But I do want to share with you guys Gary Stevenson, and he is somebody who I am very fascinated with because you know, I don't want to say I didn't know anything about class consciousness before I found out who he was, but once I remember I found his channel one day, and he did this very long interview with, I think, Navarro Media. And I was really struggling that day, like not just like emotionally, like mentally. And I got out the house. I took a really long drive. I drove around the neighborhood that I'm from. Yeah, basically the neighborhood that I'm from. And just listening to him talk, was really interesting to me. So basically he comes from a very working poor class background. He was very intelligent. He got lucky. I guess we can say he got lucky, and somebody explained a game to him that helped him win an internship. And it helped him win an internship, and he ended up making a lot of money. I think he made about $300,000 when he was like maybe 23 years old. And imagine making $300,000 in one fell swoop at 23 years old. Like, seriously, how much money were you making at 23? And that's for those of us who didn't hit it big, being influencers and all these things. Imagine, you know? So I'm gonna play maybe like a couple of his shorts because I cannot play many of his videos because they are very not very long, but they're detailed topics, and so yeah, I'm just going to play this short so you guys get an idea of where he's from, and I'm like a really big fan of his. I love him.
2011 was like kind of a mad year, right? Because everybody thought that there was going to be this big economic recovery. So my job was basically to bet on, is the economy going to be strong or is the economy going to be weak? During 2008, the newspapers were the same. We're going to have a massive bounce back, 2009, 2010. And every single year I worked there, 2008, I saw them predict recovery didn't happen in 2009. 2009, again, same thing. 2010, again, same thing. So by 2011, I'd seen like 3 successive years of next year things will be good and things not being good. And I became obsessed. Like, this was going to be my edge. I'm going to be the guy that works out why the economy is actually weak. And I came to this conclusion that basically we have this structural crisis of growing wealth inequality. The middle class, the working class are getting squeezed out. The rich are accumulating it. And I realized straight away that's going to get worse forever. And that was how I made my big money, basically. I realized in 2011 that the economy, at least for ordinary people, would get worse forever. 2011 was like kind of a mad year, right? Because everybody thought that there was going to be this big economic recovery.
So he basically says that the world economy, he knew in 2011 that the economy was going to get worse forever, you guys. This is what he says. And he has experience in these financial markets. He worked as a trader for I think Capital Bank. He knows the ins and outs. He knows how the game is rigged. He knows that they benefit from the game being rigged. They being billionaires and millionaires and financial professionals and people who want in on the money grab or the resource grab.
But I don't do this because it's easy. I do this because it's essential.
You don't see Tabitha Brown doing nothing like this. She's just gonna say, "Get a job, bitch. Get a job." But did you hear what he just said? It's not easy. She is so disingenuous. I'm so fucking disgusted by this bitch. She is so disingenuous.
Simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you don't want your country to collapse into poverty, you have to deal with this. We've got the people, we've got the experts, get them in a room together, pay them what they need, and get that tax policy sorted and give it the time it needs. And I would like to see, this is not a UK specific problem. And economists and civil servants in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in France, in Japan, in Australia. I would say America, but we're not likely to get them. Oh, and Canada, because they always complain that I don't mention them. And New Zealand, get a lot of those. Listen, what I'm looking for is like Ruth.
He said, I would say America, but we're not likely to get there. He's telling the truth, you guys. He's basically saying, America, you're fucked and you're on your own because nobody can save you.
Practicality and
But y'all want to listen to a bitch telling you to just get a job. Get a job from who? Who? The people that enable the inequality in society. Get a job from them. Oh, of course, because they're going to pay you a livable wage, right? Yeah.
Pragmatism. How do we effectively get wealth back from the very rich, or at the very least, stop them from taking more of our wealth? But I don't do this because it's easy.
That's all of Gary Stevenson. Follow Gary Stevenson, y'all. He's the GOAT. I like this guy too. This guy right here, Def Life, he keeps it real. I think he's a trucker. Okay, I might add him on the back end. I might add him on the back end. Okay. Somebody else who I want to show you guys is Cavernacle. Another very interesting person who speaks about politics and class consciousness and tells the truth. I'm not going to play any of his videos because these are the kind of videos where you got to listen to this in the shower, you know, or, you know, you got to listen to this while you're comfortable in bed. One thing I will say is he speaks the truth. I'm going to play a little bit of this video where he talks about David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen because I love this.
I was reading from my mom.
I'm so happy that this topic of David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen is being discussed because I peeped David Pakman from the very beginning. Now we have a lot of people saying, "Oh, don't worry about David Pakman being paid by AIPAC." Yeah, true, sure. But you know, if we don't care, are we just not? I mean, yeah, we want Trump out of office completely. Let's get him out of office. I guess it's like, you know, you fight your battles. These long live streams make me so tired.
Cohen is he seems to be deeply in bed with the Biden White House. And there's a couple of Gen Z influencers, you might have seen them on Twitter, and it got leaked that they're being paid by the DNC. I'm not saying I know this as a fact. I just find this guy super suspicious, and I wouldn't be surprised, don't know anything if this is true or not, I wouldn't be surprised if he was also on the payroll because he is insanely well connected to the people in that administration. Like, he's interviewed so many of them on his podcast. He's interviewed Kamala Harris. He's interviewed Joe Biden. He's interviewed all these people.
$8,000 a month.
I think it goes without saying, I am one of the biggest haters of liberals and liberals who support Israel. Last year, I think in October, I made a video criticizing Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman. Now, if you follow my channel for a long time, you know I have hated David Pakman for ages, and I've made videos calling out his insane takes on stuff like Israel and his just general pro-Israel support. But one thing...
Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a Tabernacle video because he's great. Okay, I did Stephanie Perry. Now let's go to S. Anne Marie Archer, and we might circle back to the other guy. Okay. I'm getting kind of famished. I need some water. I need some water. I need some water. 3 weeks ago, she talked about
2025 so far, and
300,000
pushed out of the American workforce in
Black
just
women
the
being
first
fired.
months of this year. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And that's not just a statistic. That's a red flag alert. Some people are calling it an economic lynching. I call it the American way. The most educated and the most targeted Black women are the most educated and credentialed group in the United States of America. More Black women have graduate degrees than any other group. Many of us hold multiple certifications on top of those degrees. We were told that our education would protect us, that it would insulate us from instability, that it would prove our value. It doesn't. In fact, in America's current climate, it often makes us bigger targets.
But Tabitha Brown said, "Get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job." Sorry, baby, get a job. I know your job you just got fired from your job, but hurry up and get a job.
Juvederm collect.
Tabitha Brown made a video that got a lot of people talking. In it, she seemed to be telling entrepreneurs that they needed to go back into the workforce and get a 9 to 5 if their business wasn't working. And it has gotten the internet in an uproar. And while I understand what she was trying to say, I think her comments and the timing missed some very important realities, especially for Black women. I'm Anne Marie, and I'm the founder and owner of Anti-HR, an HR consulting company that provides employee-focused consulting, advice, and support. I spent over 25 years managing and overseeing human resources, and I am also a licensed attorney. While I don't provide legal advice, I share insights based on my deep understanding of how HR really works. My niche is teaching employees not just how to recognize discrimination and other wrongdoing in their workplace, but how to leverage that recognition into negotiating a paid exit, a severance, without having to hire an attorney or file a legal claim. These are things that HR really doesn't want you to know, because HR is not your friend. Before we dive in, make sure you like this video, comment, but do so constructively, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Now, let me say this first. I generally find Tabitha Brown to be one of the most positive and unproblematic people on the internet. She radiates joy, peace, and kindness. So I don't think she intended any harm. I think she was trying to.
I'm sorry, Tabitha Brown is fake as fuck. But I understand, maybe, this is a Black woman who likes to support Black women. I like to support Black women, but Tabitha Brown is a fake bitch.
Offer tough love. I am quite taken aback by the tone that many have taken in terms of their disagreement with Miss Tabitha's take. She always speaks with a lot of love and kindness, and she did that in the video that she put up. So I am very disappointed and taken aback by the viciousness of some of the comments that seem to be coming from the Black community.
I'm just going to stop the video right there. I'm just going to stop the video right there. I'm just going to stop the video right there. Let me go to this guy, Def Life's channel, because Tabitha Brown deserves everything she's fucking getting. Everything. Like, I like, they're to beat Black women while they're down. Yeah. Check his channel out. He has some really great topics. While you work and sacrifice your time for money, they just print it. I watched that video, and basically he was talking about inflation, and he was discussing how we work hard all of our lives. We inch closer to the American dream or a comfortable life, and then some manufactured crisis happens, and then they just print. And now all the money you worked for and saved is it's not really valuable anymore. So that's basically what he was talking about. And yeah, Def Life. Really enjoy his channel. I don't have anything else to say. Oh shit. I don't have anything else to say, you guys. Oh no, I actually do. I'm gonna show you one more person. I'm gonna show you one more person.
We want to take out the.
Her name is Anna Kalschmidt. Okay. And she discusses women in the workplace. She also discusses racism quite breathtakingly and honestly. Yeah. So I'm just gonna play one of her videos. You guys check her channel out and go browse her videos. Yeah.
Social language that white women are in on that I have just never.
I was tagged in this because of my research on social class. It is whiteness. It's also social class. It's a mix of middle and upper class whiteness white womanness, gender intersection, and toxic cultural norms. Let's break them down. My research on the unwritten rules of work identified that one of the unwritten rules as you move into a higher income environment is that they expect you to speak more indirectly. And this is really frustrating for people who come from working class backgrounds where being direct is more normalized. The previous creator talked specifically about academia. I saw this all the time in academia, of that people don't tell you directly they have a problem with you. They go around with the problem and around your back. If you're neurodivergent and or working class, it's infuriating. It's also a wealthy white woman thing, or even a middle class white woman thing, because middle class, upper middle class white women are expected to be, yes, demure. I thought Jules's original video was making fun of this concept, actually, because upper middle class white lady prototype, stereotype, whatever it is different than working class white lady. Both have whiteness, both have white privilege, but there are different gender role expectations. I've shared on here before an article written by a white woman who had moved up from a working class background into high level academia. And she called herself an insider without, because she acknowledged she had white privilege, but she felt like she was missing a decoder ring for this new upper middle class environment. And she said that she didn't fit into their demure little ladylike idea. She wasn't a proper little lady. And having grown up in a very blue collar, yes, predominantly white area, I found that similar experience. It is part of, and yeah, it is part of whiteness. Now, why did I talk about class first before race? Because according to global research on the intercultural conflict style model, European, Euro-American people, they claim to be more also direct, more emotionally restrained, but more direct. And that has not been what my research has found within a class difference. Now, what is...
She is so right. You know, how many times have you been on a job and your upper level bosses, they don't give you direct feedback? You feel like they're giving you like just enough to fail. You know what I mean? They're not telling you exactly what you're doing wrong. And do you know why I think this is? I learned this when I was in school, that America, we have an individualist society as opposed to a collectivist society. So AKA, we don't work together, basically. We think that we're all going to be self-made billionaires and millionaires. um and I think that the reason people in the upper level don't work, I mean, don't give you direct feedback and direct answers, direct conversation, I think that that's because they don't want to tell you how to get where they are. They don't want to really help you get good feedback. They want to keep you exactly where you are, below them, under them. And with that being said, you guys, thank you for watching this very long live stream. This has almost been 1 hour. I knew it would be long because I had a lot to say. Okay, leave a comment. Please watch, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you for being here.